Stop, don't blink, don't scroll, don't even adjust your wig, 'cause what I'm about to say might melt your charger, overheat your phone, and send Huntsville into a full-blown identity crisis. Because allegedly, supposedly, may beckon to possibly, in the realm of wild internet whispers, Arrionne Curry has hinted at secrets so messy, so chaotic, so realitate, Von Sturds, that the streets are acting like they just hacked the FBI. Did she really suggest that Martell Holt's private life has layers nobody was prepared for? Did she really pull Carlos King's name into the conversation like an unexpected season finale plot twist? And why is social media clutching pearls, refreshing timelines, and zooming in on blurry screenshots like they're auditioning for CSI? This isn't regular tea. This is boiling lava, served with a side of weight. What? What kind of secret makes the fandom panic, producers sweat, and group chats explode at 3 in the morning? What connection between Martell and Carlos has everyone side-eyeing like they just walked into the wrong room at the wrong time? If even a whisper of this rumormal chaos is true or fake or exaggerated, or just internet delusion, then Huntsville may never emotionally recover. Welcome to the madness. Breaking Arrionne Curry exposes Martell Holt's dirty secrets. Everything between him and Carlos King exposed. Buckle up. You're not ready. From the moment this chaos began, it felt less like gossip and more like a storm that had been waiting years to explode. According to the loud and endlessly dramatic corners of social media, Arrionne Curry didn't just wake up one day and decide to stir the pot. She had allegedly been sitting on something she believed was bigger than every cheating headline, every reunion meltdown, and every awkward interview Martell Holt ever stumbled through. The second she hinted that she knew a secret about him, the internet didn't walk. It sprinted into panic mode. People who hadn't watched the show in months suddenly came crawling back like detectives returning to a cold case, convinced. This was the missing puzzle piece that explained every side-eye, every argument, every tense moment that ever aired. Because, let's be honest, Martell's reputation in the reality TV universe has never been calm or clean. His name has been tied to drama, like peanut butter clings to bread, and every season seemed to add more fuel to the fire. So when Arrionne hinted that she had information that wasn't just messy, but historically messy, the streets lost their collective minds. Rumors started spinning, theories multiplied, and TikTok researchers armed with zero credentials began dissecting interviews frame by frame as if they were analyzing footage from a government archive. Then one name floated into the conversation. Through whispers, fan theories, and that unstoppable machine called internet imagination, Carlos King, a figure already known for pulling strings behind the scenes. The second his name landed next to Martell's in the rumor mill, people acted like they had uncovered the secret chapter of a mystery novel. Viewers began rewinding old episodes, watching interactions under a microscope, convinced every smirk or shoulder touch meant something deeper. There was no proof, no documents, no leaked messages, just pure speculation wrapped in dramatic commentary. The fandom treated this like a mission, digging through clips, dragging up screenshots, and building entire conspiracy boards based on body language and awkward pauses. Suddenly, Huntsville wasn't just a city, it was the epicenter of a digital earthquake. Group chats blew up. Facebook aunties organized roundtable discussions like church committees. YouTube channels canceled their regular content to cover the saga. And people who had never even heard of love and marriage, Huntsville, were now invested like their lives depended on the next clue. The biggest question haunting everyone wasn't simply what Arrionne knew, but how long she had known it, and why she chose this moment to drop vague hints that sent the internet spiraling. The deeper fans dug, the more convinced they became that this wasn't just another rumor, but something that tied back years, something that made every past meltdown look suspicious. Whether true or not, the timing, the tone, and the tension made this feel less like petty drama and more like the beginning of a scandal that could rewrite the entire narrative around Martell Holt. What made everything spiral even faster was the way the online world suddenly crowned itself an investigative task force. Once the first wave of rumors hit, people started acting like they had access to classified files and undercover intel. They claimed that behind the scenes there were conversations, whispers, and private moments hinting at something bigger between Martell and powerful figures connected to the reality TV machine. At the center of those theories sat Carlos King, not because of anything proven, but because fans decided that every time Martell appeared tense or defensive in old footage, it had to mean there was a hidden layer nobody had discussed before. The internet took that tiny spark of speculation and inflated it into a wildfire. Anonymous comments started appearing, claiming that a friend of a cousin of a stylist allegedly heard something years ago. People treated those vague posts like gospel, repeating them, resharing them, and adding dramatic flair until it felt like everyone online was trading top secret intel. Even though it was all based on imagination rather than evidence. Some users claimed that Martell had late-night meetings in luxurious and mysterious locations, back rooms of hotel lounges, or quiet corners of high-end restaurants, spinning stories of whispered conversations, secret alliances, and dramatic power plays. None of it could be verified, but it didn't stop anyone from building full narratives around it. Others began inventing supposed leaked messages and mysterious screenshots that were blurred, cropped, or completely out of context. Yet, somehow, they fueled the belief that Martell was entangled in something bigger than personal drama, something involving loyalty, influence, and high-stakes television decisions. People began quoting imaginary insiders, writing lines like "insiders say" or "sources close to the situation claim," act as if they were journalists uncovering corruption rather than fans stirring entertainment gossip. And this only pushed the frenzy further. Public reaction grew louder. Comments flooded every platform. Viewers revisited past seasons, claiming to see hidden tension between Martell and Carlos that no one noticed before, insisting the pieces finally made sense. Theories grew more dramatic, like claims that Martell had been protected by influential people in the industry, or that certain storylines were manipulated to keep secrets buried. And while there was no proof, the intrigue alone kept people glued to every new rumor. The idea of secret phone calls, private meetings, and undisclosed agendas became internet currency. And every fan wanted to uncover the next breadcrumb. Silence from the cast was treated as suspicious, with viewers saying that if no one was denying anything, then surely something must be brewing behind closed doors. Whether realistic or not, that assumption created a tense atmosphere where every expression, every pause, and every unanswered question became fuel for speculation. The scandal no longer felt like gossip about relationships or personal drama. It had turned into a full-scale mystery driven by the belief that powerful connections and hidden loyalties were shaping the narrative in ways the public was never meant to see. As the rumor mill kept spinning, the internet shifted from wild theories to full-blown predictions of consequences, acting like a courtroom, a newsroom, and a government agency all at once. Suddenly, people were convinced that this so-called hidden saga was about to trigger massive fallout. They spoke as if investigations were inevitable, reputations were about to collapse, and the entire reality TV ecosystem would be shaken to its core. Comment sections filled with dramatic guesses that executives would step in, producers would panic, and contracts would be rewritten. Some users insisted that if even a fraction of the whispered speculation turned out to be true, major players might face career-ending repercussions. Others imagined sudden silence, emergency meetings, and frantic phone calls behind the scenes as networks tried to protect their brands. Some fans created hypothetical legal scenarios, suggesting that Martell could find himself surrounded by lawyers, publicists, and crisis management teams, while Carlos King would be forced to explain his role in the swirling chaos even though no official complaint or evidence existed. The idea of resignations, canceled appearances, and halted productions became popular talking points. as viewers fantasized about a chain reaction where every cast member would be dragged into the spotlight and pressured to address the rumors. People acted like the entire city of Huntsville was on the verge of a public meltdown. Even quiet cast members were pulled into fan theories, with social media insisting that silence was a sign of guilt, that anyone not speaking up must know something, and that every old disagreement or awkward scene suddenly looked like part of a deeper cover-up. The more dramatic the speculation, the faster it spread. Soon, commenters painted a picture of an industry scrambling to contain damage, imagining executive boardrooms filled with Redfest producers trying to decide whether to issue statements, launch internal reviews, or distance themselves entirely. Some fans predicted sponsorships would crumble. Reality stars would panic about their storylines being re-examined, and viewers would demand transparency like an audience ready to riot. Even though nothing official had happened, the atmosphere online felt like a countdown to disaster. As people revisited past episodes, they claimed to see foreshadowing moments that now looked suspiciously tense, scenes that felt orchestrated, and conversations they swore were hiding double meanings. It created the sense that the show had been a ticking time bomb all along. The entire narrative shifted from simple curiosity to the belief that this was the beginning of a massive unraveling, a domino effect that could expose long-buried truths and force everyone involved to confront the speculation. Whether realistic or not, the audience treated this moment like a climax, expecting that any day now a major revelation would drop. A public statement would break the silence, or someone would finally confess what they supposedly knew. The suspense became the fuel that kept everyone watching, waiting, and refreshing their screens as if the next headline could change everything. So now, the million-dollar question hangs in the air. Whether any of this turns out to be rumor, overreaction, or the start of something bigger. One thing is clear: this moment has everyone talking, guessing, and watching like something is about to drop. And that means your voice matters in this chaos. Do you think the internet connected dots that were never there? Or do you believe there is more beneath the surface than anyone is admitting? Is this just harmless speculation? Or is this silence from everyone involved the loudest clue of all? Whatever you think, say it, because the comment section is where this story takes shape. And every opinion adds fuel to the fire. Make sure you like this video so the conversation doesn't die. Subscribe so you don't miss the next twist. And stay tuned, because if history has taught us anything, it's that the truth never stays buried for long.